Welcome to the Own Your Best Life podcast. I'm May Emson, your host, leadership and mindset coach. Here, we talk all things spiritual, mindset, business, leadership, and wellness for the modern seeker who wants to align their life with purpose and inspiration. We'll cover career changes, stress management, meditation, energy, intuition, and more. Each episode holds spiritual and practical tools to help you live a life of your wildest dreams without getting burnt out along the way. Ready to live a life on your own terms? This is the Own Your Best Life podcast. Welcome, friends, to episode number 75 of the Own Your Best Life podcast. When it comes to the study of human behavior, one of the most fascinating topics is behavioral economics, which is why do we do the things that we do around money? And this level of self-awareness is that first step in identifying money beliefs and patterns that are keeping us from enjoying, creating, and spending money in healthy and productive ways. And we often operate our lives based on what we believe to be true. These beliefs may not be well informed, they may not be rational or even questioned, but we believe them all the same. And there was a study in the Journal of Financial Therapy on money beliefs and scripts that indicated that there were 3 belief systems that were actually correlated to lower income and net worth. So the first of the 3 scripts is money avoidance, which is this idea that money is this taboo subject. You might feel shame or secrecy around money, maybe even having lied about purchases or how much you have. The second one is around money worship, and that's this idea that, more money makes everything better, and you think that the more money you have, the happier you'll be. And there's actually research that shows that there is no significant correlation between happiness and money once you pass a certain amount, and that amount was $75,000. And even those that experience windfalls like lottery winners, for example, actually had an increase in distrust or depression, and this idea that it actually increased their happiness for a short period of time, but then it actually fell down to lower levels of happiness than before the windfall. So just something to think about as we think about, we want to hit certain income goals or make a certain amount of money. I think we kind of know this to be true, but it is helpful to reiterate that the idea of just having more money does not solve the problems that you have in your life. It will not make you happier. Even though you know this, you might still have this belief. So just think about this one for a second, because I think this idea of money worship tends to be one that gets played out a lot in our world today. And the third belief is really around money status, really believing that the more money you have, the more important you are, and that it is an indication of how worthy that you actually are. And so this is the 3 beliefs. There's actually a 4th belief, which is around money vigilance. And this type of belief is based on the concept that money needs to be protected. This one actually was correlated with more income, but it was also correlated with less enjoyment. When you're really careful about money and you want to protect it and hold on to it, you will likely have more. But there's also a feeling of constriction, a feeling of worry, of anxiety, of constant worry around money as well. So these are the ways that we sometimes might be thinking about money. And I think it's helpful to shed light on it, because many of us form these beliefs in childhood or through early adulthood. And when you first heard about money from your parents, you can start to think about the idea of asking yourself, what were they actually saying around money? Did you never talk about money, or did you talk about it in a way that created a feeling of never having enough? And just like any other belief that we form, these thoughts shape our feelings about money and what's associated with money. If we believe that money isn't something to talk about, we'll likely not address questions around money, such as, do we have what we want to have? Or how do we want to plan for our future? And these questions might elicit this feeling of discomfort, as does sharing how much money you make or pay for your purchases. This shows us that we still have these areas around money that we feel might be taboo. And I'm not trying to tell you to go tell everyone about how much money you make or how much you spent on this thing, but I do think it's interesting to note that when we attach certain things about our worth to money and how much we make, we're less likely to talk about it, versus if you were just sharing, hey, this house in this market over here sold for this amount, that feels different. You're more easily and readily available to just tell people how much that was and how much that cost, versus maybe your own place. And because then you start thinking, well, what are people going to think about me, or how much money I have or I don't have? And again, this is the edge that I'm talking to you guys about. This is where a lot of people are right now, and you might be too. And I'm not saying, again, this is a bad place to be, but just notice how that might be because of the way that we feel attached to what that money means about who we are. What we have means something about the kind of person that we are as well. So when it comes to money, our ability to be very pragmatic, to be direct, will be critical to addressing money beliefs that you are holding. Another example is if you work in an organization or you have your own company, you will have to talk about money, how much money the company is making or not making, or how much money should be appropriate for a certain amount in a budget. That shows this idea of course we talk about it. It's nothing good or bad. It just is. But sometimes when it comes to our own finances, those conversations never happen. We don't talk about it because we feel this sense of, well, this is not a topic that we should be talking about, our personal finances. And that might not be because there's actually something wrong, but it might be just because you've never done it or you haven't heard those kind of conversations happen in your personal life. So our ability to actually be that pragmatic, be that direct, is going to be critical. And if you don't have that level of wealth you desire, or you feel a lot of anxiety or secrecy or discomfort around money, it's likely that you're harboring some of the beliefs that we mentioned around status, avoidance, worship, or vigilance. And the issue is we think that our money problem is that we don't have enough of it, when in reality, our money problem is what we believe about what we have, how we treat what we have. And when we think our money problem is that we don't have enough, we think we're going to solve money problems through buying, through not talking about it, through accumulating more of it, or just thinking very highly about it. And instead, when we see that our money problem is what we believe about what we have, that relationship about what we have, we begin to clean up our thinking and our beliefs around money. So I remember when I had this conversation with my mom as I was entering college. Why do we not care about money spiritually, but we care about money in this very human experience world? And I had both sides of the coin as I was growing up. One side about this idea that thoughts create form and that energy of our intentions mattered a lot more than actually sometimes what we actually do, and that we care a lot about our actions as well. And then I had this other side of do, and achieving. So my mom's answer was this: we need money in this world. And that was as pragmatic and direct as you can get. And as someone with an MBA from an Ivy League school, you would think that money comes easily to me, but I remember struggling with the thought around whether or not I deserved the amount of money that I was being paid. And the same thoughts of it's not enough earlier on in my careers transferred into it's too much. And with these thoughts came these feelings of proving my worth through overworking or stress, as if I had to be unhappy or I had to be stressed in order to deserve that amount of money. And in reality, it's not about enough or too much money. It's about what you want or what you need and why, and our relationship with money. as this energy and as a belief system is one that needs to be examined and maintained the same way we work with anyone in a relationship. Clinging and neediness is not healthy in a human relationship. It's not healthy in your money relationship either. Neither is avoidance or putting it on a pedestal. And when we can bring this real sense of pragmatism, it looks like questioning everything without a judgment of good or bad labeled to it. Do you have enough money for your needs? Yes. Do you have enough money to do what you want to do with freedom in life? No. That's where we start. No good or bad or panic buttons that need to be activated. No, oh my goodness, I can't spend any money right now because I don't have ultimate freedom financially forever and ever in my life. No, it's just a sense of curiosity, of interest. Would this serve me towards achieving that? Yes. Do I have to spend money to make money sometimes? Yes. These are the kinds of questions that we ask, and the answer is very neutral. And when you start to rework your money beliefs, you begin to do the work of setting new standards, of creating new identities for yourself as someone who has a healthy relationship with money. And from there, you make decisions that serve you and those around you that help you increase your wealth and your ability to enjoy and have ease with money, none of which affects how worthy you are to have the money in the first place. All of the wealth you have or don't have was created from intention. And whether that was someone else's intention to have wealth or not, could be your parents, could be the family members, could be expectations of your peer group around you, or it could just be your own. And this kind of intention comes from belief. So if you identify with these money beliefs that I shared today, take a deep breath and just know that this is the first step. When you start with that self-awareness that you have some of these thoughts running your financial blueprint, you can then begin to examine what it is that you actually want to change and why. And my challenge for you this week is to actually take one of these beliefs and think about the impact it has had on your life financially and emotionally. Write down what it has done for you and ask yourself this one question. What do I want to believe instead? And maybe it's a belief that money is neutral and money is an energy that reflects how I respond to it, or that I don't have to compare myself to other people. It's not about my worth, or even that the universe is an abundant place, right? And it's safe for me to be abundant, safe for me to have money. And it doesn't mean that I'm taking from someone or that it's bad if I have money or don't have money. So either way, you'll see that wealth begins with beliefs, and that these beliefs don't have to be tied to emotions of doubt or secrecy or resentment. And in fact, the energy of mutual respect, of appreciation, of attention is that foundation of a healthy relationship with money. So if you resonate with this topic and you want to see more results in your life, expansion, growth, change, you will love coaching. Getting coached consistently is that spark that lights that fire of inspiration to make the change that you're looking to make, to grow and expand the ways that you are looking to grow and expand. And it is that first step in creating the clarity and starting to make those small shifts that add up to massive ones, and we will move obstacles out of your way each time so that you can move forward. So if you want to learn more, you can go to www.mayemson.com/contact and you can set up a consult there. I love you, my friends. I hope you have an amazing week, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks so much for joining us this week on Own Your Best Life. Make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts so that you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, can you please rate and review on iTunes? I would so appreciate it. Share it with a friend, take a screenshot of it, and tag @MayEmson. This helps continue to get the word out. For more show notes and resources, check out www.mayemson.com. You'll have all the links to everything you heard here today. Thanks so much for listening. It's time to own your best life.